Let's talk about GEP warehouse management software. I mean, some people call it GEP, some people call it GEP. And in today's conversation, I want to do an in-depth review so you have a clear idea what you're getting yourself into if you want to consider a GEP. So here's an overview I want you to pay attention to. So when you think about GEP warehouse management software, I want you to think about an AI-powered platform for transforming supply management capabilities within your operations. And it doesn't matter whether you have a small business, a large business, a mid-sized business, or anything in between. Whether you're focused on e-commerce or retail, not a problem. What we love about GEP is that you have software that actually adapts to your operation, to your warehousing operation. This is really fantastic. And so think about GEP as an end-to-end cloud-native supply planning, management, and warehouse management sort of software tool. And you are able to have a real-time data. You're able to, like this software is able to generate real-time data to you. And you also have intel in terms of what's happening in your warehouse management, okay? So everything from inventory management to warehousing to a floor utilization to staff utilization to resource utilization. This is just fantastic. But think about real-time connectivity with full supply chain capabilities. You have mobile first visibility, so you are able to actually manage your warehouse on the go, which is really great if you have multiple warehouses to actually manage. And you also have a self-cleansing data that really allows you to, GEP is cleaning the data when the data coming from your warehousing operations in real time. So data that is irrelevant, so that you can actually focus on what's important and really get a great job when it comes to your warehousing operation. What I want to say is think of GEP as a supply chain management software, not just warehousing. It goes way beyond warehousing. That's why we actually love the fact that when you analyze GEP, think about an end-to-end approach to planning, visibility, and execution around your supply chain, not just your warehouse management. But in today's conversation, we want to focus on the warehouse management aspect of GEP to really help you understand what this software is all about. So this is really important. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. You are going to enjoy today's conversation. Let me talk to you about the benefits of a GEP. So when you think about GEP warehouse management software, what are the benefits you need to really think about? First of all, you have greater visibility of supply chain operations. Okay, as I said before, you are able to have a streamlined view, a bird's eye view of your supply chain operations. This is really great because you are able to see in real time what's really happening. Okay, you can have real-time status updates. You also have AI-powered forecasting and analytics. So basically, GEP has they actually leverage their proprietary AI technology to give you a superior forecasting and analytics capabilities. Now, this is really fantastic. The only problem is you got to have the technologies to sort of sustain that. In other words, to be able to have this AI-powered capability, you got to have the technology. Now, if you don't have the software, if you don't have the integration, the proper integrations, they could be a little problematic, okay? But you also have inventory and warehouse management within GEP, so you're able to actually unify inventory and warehouse management under one umbrella. So you can actually, for instance, you can monitor stock levels, you can generate the replenishment orders, you can actually generate also forecast demands. This is really cool. So you're able to carry out end-to-end warehouse operations from a single platform. So this centrality of analysis, this centrality of overview, this centrality of coordination is really cool. So this is really good. You can actually shorten lead times, prevent stockouts, optimize the inventory, and reduce storage costs. You also have logistics visibility within GEP. We also love that a lot because you are able to ensure complete supply accountability and reliability of your goods and inventory. Remember, when we talk about warehouse management, we're thinking about what? Good optimization, floor utilization, good utilization, stock utilization, inventory utilization, because the bottom line is you want your inventory to be properly valued on your company's balance sheet. And this is one aspect where GEP warehouse management software helps you actually properly value your inventory. You also have within the software, you have supply chain planning tools. So everything that really allows you to actually optimize your supply chain. This is really great. For example, when it comes to optimizing route plans or even having a long-term fleet requirements. So this is kind of cool. You also have what we call forecast collaboration within the tool. Fantastic. Also, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about GEP warehouse management software. Let's talk about the features that you can expect to have within GEP warehouse management software. First of all, we love the supply chain collaboration. This is really cool because you are able to have a clear idea across the board of what's really happening in your supply chain organization-wide, not just within one, I would say at one warehouse, but at multiple warehouses, if not at all warehouses within the company. You have forecast collaboration. This is really good. I just spoke about that. You have a purchase order collaboration. This is really cool. If you have teams working from multiple geographies, the ability to collaborate on purchase orders is really good. So PO collaboration is good. You have capacity collaboration. This is another great feature that we have within GEP. You also have quality management software capabilities. You also have a supply chain visibility and execution. So you are able you are able to have visibility and execution within your supply chain, not just in terms of collaboration. You have a control tower. This is another great feature that you have within GEP warehouse management software. You have inventory and warehouse management. I've spoken earlier about the centrality, the unification of those two important work streams, right? Inventory management and warehouse management. You also have logistics visibility, and you have SEM planning and execution. So this is really cool in terms of helping you advance when it comes to your warehouse management. And so what we love about GEP in general here is that you have span analysis. In other words, way beyond all the features that I just gave you, you want to go back to let's say GEP 101. This is span analysis, savings tracking. Again, not only at one warehouse, but at multiple warehouses simultaneously. You have sourcing, so you're able to find the right suppliers through GEP. You have contract management. You have supplier management. You have procure to pay. So procure to pay is kind of cool because you are actually you have a feature that covers your order to invoice process and source to contract process. So it also includes item search to invoice matching and payment authorization. Let's talk about the value added here. So when you think about GEP warehouse management software, what is actually the value that's been added here? The cool thing we love about GEP is that you have a complete procurement solution with full spend analysis and opportunity assessments. This is really cool because then your warehouse becomes a center of intel, a center of operational intel, okay, a source of operational intel, if you will. You also have a value that's been added in terms of planning and project management. You have auctions and sourcing. You have contracts and lifecycle management. You have supplier management. This is really cool. You have purchasing. You have invoice handling, and you have savings tracking. So when you think about GEP, the biggest way it really adds value is that it really adds value through the fact that it is a unified procurement platform that really helps you in terms of direct and indirect procurement. Okay, so you're able to actually automate everything. One thing we also love in terms of value adding is that GEP really adds value to your warehouse operations because it really helps you identify opportunities through savings, purchases, and payments. You have an easy to use interface. This is a huge value adding criterion in our view. You have mobile access. So that's what I just said. I said to you earlier, if you prefer to actually manage your business on the go, then you will love this sort of mobile access capability that GEP brings to the table. And we also love the fact that within the software, you have specific workflows. So, and those workflows are really granular. We love the granularity of those workflows because they allow you, for all intents and purposes, to actually segregate how you manage your inventory, to segregate the different work streams within your inventory management, within your warehouse management. And so, but the bottom line here is you are speeding up procurement through workflows. You actually can connect all departmental purchase requests. So again, ensuring a greater level of collaboration among several departments. And so the bottom line here is that you are able to standardize your purchasing across the board. And it doesn't matter whether you have a small business or you have a large business, you are basically able to standardize your purchase orders. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about the GEP warehouse management software. Let's talk about the pricing here. So when you think about pricing, you have to actually contact GEP because they do not provide their pricing on the website. And when you call them, they will not give you that info. They want you to really have a conversation, like a long conversation with them about your plans, about your vision, and everything before they actually give you the info. And they will give you also a custom quote. So if you're interested right now, I mean, the big question is, how do you actually go about doing it? Well, they do not have a free trial. Okay, so GEP warehouse management software does not have a free trial. They do have a free demo, but they first want to get your information before giving you the link to the demo. And so we advise you to always go for the demo before you buy anything. No matter how well the conversation went with the sales rep, you always want to test out the demo. You want to test out the product itself, GEP, before you actually have a pricing commitment, before you sign some kind of deal. And one thing I want to say here is that when you sign a deal also with GEP, just go for an annual billing process if you have the resources for it, because you can save somewhere from 28% all the way to 42% when it comes to, like, when you look at the delta from the monthly price all the way to the yearly price. So that's a huge delta. But the bottom line here is that you have to actually choose important elements that really can bring, let's say, end-to-end procurement functionality, end-to-end procurement feasibility, end-to-end procurement efficiency. And this is what GEP does by helping you sort of streamline those operations. One thing I want to say here is that when it comes to choosing your specific plan, you have to also pay attention to what's important for not only one warehouse, but across the board as you scale, because your organization right now might be a small business, but what if 5 years from now it becomes a mid-sized business? So you want to choose features that can help you scale with GEP. I mean, that's not a problem. You can scale with GEP, but there are some features that are better for I would say some industries, and not really that great for other industries. So be really careful there. So what is our verdict here? Is GEP really worth it? Yes. Yes, our answer is yes. GEP warehouse management software is really worth it. Now, I mean, it is worth it with a few caveats though. First of all, you got to ask yourself, what kind of procurement needs do you have? Because remember, GEP actually can really do a great job, can really add a lot of value to your operations, your warehouse operations, through their cloud-based unified procurement solutions, right? The question is, do you really need to track? Do you need to save? Do you need to source? Do you need to manage contracts? Do you also need to manage supplier? And do you need procure to pay order processing in a mobile enabled suite? If you do, then GEP will be the right, one of the best candidates for you. The question is it really worth it, right? Because I've already answered the fact that it is legit. Yes, GEP is definitely legit. They've been around for a while now, and they have a pretty sophisticated solution. But is it worth it? Yes, it is worth it as long as you are generating enough sales, or as long as you are, let's say, you are operating multiple warehouses, or you feel the need to actually invest more in floor utilization, to invest more in stock utilization, to actually invest more in other kinds of utilization, resource utilization. And what we love about the GEP here is that, with all the fact that this tool is available on a hybrid sort of basis, it can be available on the cloud. It can also be available on premise. One thing I need to say also is that when you think about GEP, I want you to think about a holistic solution, right? Because GEP is not just about warehouse management. They have something called GEP Smart. That's what I was just telling you earlier when I said that consider GEP more as a procurement software or supply chain software, but not necessarily as a warehouse management software. It goes way beyond that. You also have GEP Next. That's another software within GEP warehouse management software. But the bottom line here is that you are able to have complete visibility. You can have a complete visibility across your supply chain, and that's what really matters in the long run. Because as your company is scaling, you want to have that sort of back-to-back sort of visibility. So the big question here is that is GEP really worth it in terms of inventory management and warehouse management? Yes, it's really worth it because it really centralizes those two functionalities for you. Now, there are some cases where you might have to pay a little more to actually have those two functionalities, but they're really worth it when you think about the ROI, the overall ROI. Because just don't look at the cost, you got to look at the return on investment, you got to look at the value added. And so being able to combine those two, being able to combine inventory management and warehouse management really cuts down on the inefficiencies that really sort of are sometimes found in warehouse operations across the states, across this country. And one thing I want to say is that when you analyze if you need right now some kind of combination when it comes to your inventory management and your warehouse management, you will love GEP. Because for inventory management, this software gives you greater inventory control, real-time inventory valuation, enhanced inventory accuracy, and then you have optimal inventory usage. That's what I was just talking to you earlier when I said floor utilization, stock utilization, and labor utilization. So when you hear the term inventory usage, it's kind of similar to stock utilization. So that's for inventory management. What about warehouse management? Well, warehouse management here, you are able to have real-time, anywhere, anytime visibility. So you can track warehouse transactions and key tasks on the go with a user-friendly mobile application that's actually compatible with handheld mobile devices. One thing we have found is that you are able to track all operations on the go, but you gotta really do so. Like, first of all, you gotta have internet. And number two, you got to really have a way to track your operations across multiple geographies. And you got to really identify, you got to set key performance indicators, KPIs for each location. So when you analyze the performance of those locations, you have a clear idea what's really happening or what's not happening. You have accurate audits and with cycle counts. So you have automated stock replenishments, and you have streamlined warehousing operations across the board. In other words, you can streamline and drive greater automation of key warehouse operations, including receiving, issuing, and delivering processes. So this is really kind of cool. So long story short, when you think about GEP, I want you to think about a tool that's constantly being updated, a tool that is actually can help your warehouse management or your warehouse operations get better and better over time. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about GEP warehouse management software. So let's do a quick recap here. I give you the overview. I talked to you about the benefits, the features, the value added, the pricing, and the verdict. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.